Joe Burrow was thinking about the 18-game schedule in the NFL, the possibility of that, and he threw out an idea because the hinting is that there's going to be 2 bye weeks. This will probably be coming up here within the next couple of years when the NFL tries to really get this done. Joe Burrow said, listen, you get your standard bye week, but he did have an idea on the tail end of this quote about what to do with the second bye week. Now, how about you guys? This sounds like a terrible idea.
18 games is definitely a big ask. That's not easy. Adding that extra game, obviously it'd be great for revenue, but I feel like adding that bye week, if you're going to have the 18 games schedule, is pretty critical for our bodies, because if you keep that first bye week and then, some teams have the bye week 5, week 6, and then you're going 12, 13 games in a row. That's not easy. Probably a Thursday night game thrown in there too. So that's never easy. So those 2 byes are pretty critical. Maybe you could do something like the first bye is kind of how we have it now, and the second bye everybody has it at once, and you make it like the Pro Bowl week or something like an All-Star break for the NBA. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
So what do you guys think? Pro Bowl week, second bye of the season, bodies torn up. Let's go hang out for a week during the Pro Bowl instead of going to be with our families. What do you think?
Yeah. That ain't going to work. I mean, it doesn't matter where you put the Pro Bowl. The days of the Pro Bowl that LaVar was in and experienced, those are gone. I don't think you're ever going to see those again. So I don't know why we keep trying to make it or bring it back. Because there's too much money at risk. There's too much at risk for the players, even the teams for that matter. And there's not going to be a focus on it if it's in the middle of the season, if it's after the season, before the Super Bowl. There's not a sense of seriousness to it. So no matter how you go about doing it, you're never going to get what LaVar was a part of. My only thought or idea would be you try to make the Senior Bowl a bigger event. It's already a big event for scouting for teams, but you sell it as the future stars of tomorrow, and you get as many great college football players, blow it out, have it in. It could be in the Super Bowl city, right? It could be in the city that they're designating for the Super Bowl. You could have it there during that off week. And that would be kind of the precursor to the draft, to the combine, to all of that. For a lot of NFL fans who, yes, the biggest game of the season is staring them dead in the eyes, but that's for 2 teams. You also have 30 other teams who are out of it, and they're already thinking about the draft. They're thinking about the combine. They're thinking about these things. So instead of having it in Mobile, and I know that's going to really be crushing to Mobile's local economy, and they're going to hate me saying this. Jim Nagy, I'm sure, hates me saying this. But that is the tweak that I think you could get more engagement and potentially more people, more eyes on to be a part of an event like that, since you're selling the futures of tomorrow. The stars of today in the NFL, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Var, you played in it, you were there 3 times. It's a great experience, but I can't imagine guys are going to want to play in it.
I like the idea of it. I mean, you got all these opt-outs. Let's take it a step further. Why not make it an all-American game and take the best players from college and do a game?
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
The best players, like the all-American team that's chosen, have them play a game during, announce the Pro Bowlers, because and do it during the bye week. Like I love that. But do it during the bye week, so it's a part of the NFL, but it's not the NFL. You announce the Pro Bowlers. The Pro Bowlers are in attendance, and or maybe they're not. Who knows? But you turn it into a spectacle for the NFL. But it dovetails into kind of, or it touches in the college space. I think that would be crazy too, because them dudes would be balling. They would be balling.
Because basically the Pro Bowl as it exists, kind of a waste of time. So at least make something out of it.
Right.
Yeah. It's almost kind of, you're making a mockery of what it was. Where it's at right now, it's a mockery of what it was. I'd rather not see it at all, and you just say, this used to be, this is where the Pro Bowl used to be. Like, do something like that. Announce the team. Here's when we used to have the Pro Bowl, show some highlights from past Pro Bowls and former players and move on from it. Because what it is now, it's just, it's shenanigans.
Well, let's be clear, too. There came a point in time where it's gotten to the point with the alternates that it's not as great of the honor as it used to be. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that in any derogatory way to anyone who's made it even as an alternate. But when you guys were playing, LaVar, it's like everyone played. Like there weren't dudes really opting out.
No,
it was different. It was like what it was designed to be.
There'd be a few, like the Brett Favres,
right?
Like guys like that. They would opt out. Like some of the bigger names or older guys, they would opt out. But for the most part, man, everybody was trying to go. Like that was outside of the Super Bowl. That was like got to make the Pro Bowl. It's like Super Bowl, got to make Super Bowl first. Try to make Super Bowl. If we're not making the Super Bowl, I got to make this Pro Bowl. Like that was, and you wanted to play in it. Like I can recall working out like it was in season,
right?
As the season was ending, because you were going to play in the Pro Bowl. So, I don't know. It isn't the same, and that's. I don't know.
Can I be honest too? I think the NFL is really the person to blame the most. And I hope everyone understands this. When they left and stopped going to Hawaii,
thank you.
It changed the entire dynamic of what that trip was for the players. Where, I mean, I remember when dudes would be going, they'd be like asking you, hey, like, we'll pay for you to come out. You want to come out too? Bring the, I'm bringing so-and-so, like, come on out. Like, they were like paying for everyone to go. Like, not only their family, like, they'd be paying for everyone, like the whole crew. Mm-hmm. And I looked at it, I was like, man, think about how great of an honor that is. And what I was always thought in the back of my head was the players who are getting incentives and they're getting paid to go, but they're probably not even making money. They might be losing money when it's all said and done. This trip is so expensive. Yeah. And the NFL is probably losing money because this trip is so expensive for all involved. And there's not as much attention or focus on all that. And I think the business model is what killed it. And I mean, look, I'll be transparent. After going overseas to London, which, witnessing a football match, as they would call it, watching soccer over there, I do get concerned about the element of, like, capitalism coming into some of these leagues and just thinking, oh, we just throw a bunch of money. We're going to try drive revenue. There's some things that aren't about money. And that's the problem is, like, sometimes, when you have a special event like that, you're not always going to be able to maximize your profits. You might be able to make a little bit, but it's an honor to your players. It's an honor to, like, the coaches and people around, and probably a great trip for even some of the folks who are in the NFL that are working it as a bit of a work/vacation because it's more laid back. But it was an honor. And so a lot of times, like, a profit doesn't come with that. And the problem is because they got so focused on trying to make it more profitable and this and that, it lost its luster. It lost the allure of what it is. And now you don't go to Hawaii. Now you don't have guys, the best guys going, and now they're opting out. Now there's not even really a game. And I think it had a lot to do with that. And look, I compare it to the soccer game because there's this element of just, fans. It doesn't matter where the backgrounds you come from. In fact, some of the closest seats to the field, to the pitch, as they would say, are not necessarily the cheapest, but they're much more affordable. And they're made that way because those are going to be the most raucous fans. Those are going to be the fans that the ones they're like keeping back with security and barricades, or when there's a goal scored, people go nuts and they're trying to run on the field. And that's how it should be. Like, I kind of hate the way stadiums are made nowadays, where it's like you don't get that anymore. It's like the people who are the most rowdy, most loyal fans sometimes are the nosebleeds. So I know I'm going on my soapbox, going off on a tangent on this, but I think that's the blame for the death of the Pro Bowl and really, like, many other things as far as, like, how we see the shape of sports and what they're becoming right now.
Got to get back to Oahu, baby. Got to get back there.
It's not there anymore.
I know, but you got to get back there.
Yeah.
So
literally, you might step on a nail if you go back now.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's not there anymore.
What a heartbreaker.